and talked about the leftist idiots in the West, and that extends, sadly, to the bulk of the media.
Yep.
AP News disgraced itself again. I just want to show you two examples. First one, this is how they described a Republican senator dying. This is a man who served his country, died, and he's described as former US Senator Jim Inhofe, defence hawk who called human-caused climate change a hoax, dies at 89.
Oh,
That's
joking.
the headline.
But
this is how they described a monstrous killer, a terror leader. Charismatic and shrewd. And look at long-time Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah. I mean, this is the same thing they did with the Islamic State leader when he was. Remember, they called him a religious scholar or some other.
And they did it with one
term.
of the Hamas characters, the one who was blown up in Iran. They said, "Oh, he's the moderate." I think even the Australian media went, "Oh, he's the moderate. Why are Israel blowing up the moderate?"
the moderate terrorists.
But that's the Western media, Rita. Let me just read you a tweet from a Lebanese person, a civilian. As a Lebanese, this is a bloke called Jonathan El-Khoury. As a Lebanese, this is one of the happiest days in Lebanon's history, he writes. As a Middle Easterner, he says, this is one of the most transformative, and I think that's really key, days for the Middle East. As a human being who holds peace before my eyes, this is the most important day for our region. And we cannot reiterate enough, Rita, that the Penny Wong approach is wrong, 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 and the Israeli approach to solving this problem, finishing this war, defeating Hamas to ensure that this evil is rooted out of the Middle East, and I'll be talking about this later in the show, how as the vision that Netanyahu has, Rita, for the Middle East of a prosperous, peaceful place linked to the Abraham Accords. Let's hope Trump gets back in because we can see a bright future for the Middle East if he does.
Let's talk about that because I think that is another critical point. Things are going to be very different if it isn't a Trump administration, if we're going to have a Harris-Walz administration, because we've seen already her attitude to this issue. I know it causes enormous alarm in Israel amongst Netanyahu's government and I think beyond, because they seem to be obsessed with continuing the failed Obama-Biden strategy. It doesn't work. We saw in 4 years how much could be achieved with Trump, with the Abraham Accords, with normalising relations between Arab nations and Israel. And we have gone backwards at such a rapid pace. And you hate to think what would happen if we did have a Harris-Walz administration in there. I think it would be significantly worse than even what we saw under Obama than Biden.